Hallo Leute, herzlich willkommen zurück zu Willy Morgan and the Curse of Bone Town. Wir haben in der letzten Folge den Brief vom Vater bekommen, wo ein Arsch voller Namen draufsteht. Und einer davon ist mit Teach geendet. Und deswegen wollen wir mal gucken, vielleicht können wir es hier unter die Nase halten. Vielleicht kennt ihr den. Okay, vielleicht halten wir sie nicht unter die Nase, sondern reden einfach nur so mit ihr. Das ist eine gute Frage. Stellen wir das mal.
How come all across Bone Town the gutters seem to be new?
They are new. There's been some geological instability in the last few years. We don't know yet if it's due to natural causes or human activity. In any case, the result is that Bone Town no longer has a working water network, and the only way to retrieve some water at a decent cost seems to be this one.
Whose idea was this?
Maybe the only person who really cares about the state of Bone Town, our mayor, Steve Bonnet.
What can you tell me about Steve Bonnet?
He's the only one here doing something to keep Bone Town alive. Without him, our village would be much worse off. I suggest you go visit him. He knows everything about Bone Town. If you need something specific, he'll be able to help you for sure. These days, he lives in the town hall to deal with all the city's problems, but he's always available to everyone.
Thank you. I'll visit him as soon as possible. Am I wrong, or did you tell me your name is Margaret Teach?
That's correct.
Do you know a man named Charles Teach?
Your question surprises me. How do you know my great-great-grandfather?
I'm doing some research on the genealogy of Bone Town, and I stumbled upon the Teach family.
Yes, it's been several generations now since the Teaches settled in Bone Town.
What can you tell me about Charles Teach in particular?
He was the one who brought the name Teach here to Bone Town, but of his past, little is known. My great-grandma told me that he was a former fisherman with a knack for books. This library is a donation he made to the city of Bone Town just before he died. After he arrived here in Bone Town, he devoted himself exclusively to reading, and many of these books were bought directly by him. He had so many of them that he basically founded the town library, which then became the family business for the following generations too.
And he didn't leave anything else apart from the books?
All he left is stored on the upper floor, but it's mostly junk. The real treasure was his books. There's also an old crate without a key, but it looks empty.
Okay, Margaret Teach, kennen Sie vielleicht noch die Geschichte hier von Kid, genau.
Do you by any chance know the story of Captain William Kidd?
Sure, it is mostly a legend. In the golden era of piracy, Kidd stood out for his endeavors, if you could call them that.
The endeavors of a pirate aren't exactly heroic most of the time.
Anyway, his ship, the Adventure Galley, was supposedly filled with treasures when it suddenly disappeared. A few years later, in 1701, Kidd was captured and executed, but his ship and the crew were never found.
What do you think happened?
What always happened at that time? Kidd and his crew squandered all the loot, and to cover their tracks, they sold or even burned the ship. After this story, Kidd became legendary.
Thank you. Thanks, and goodbye.
Thank you for visiting the Bone Town Library. If you need a specific book, you can ask me, Ms. Teach, or just Margaret.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, also konnte sie uns jetzt nicht so wirklich weiterhelfen, was den Charles anging. Ich habe halt die Hoffnung gehabt, dass sie vielleicht den Schlüssel irgendwo... Oha, wen haben wir denn hier?
Very strange. I have the feeling I'm being watched. Better be careful. You never know what can happen in Bone Town.
Okay, was mich jetzt interessiert, ist auf der Map denn hier... Ah ja, okay, die Bibliothek, One-Eye Jack, Museum, Gasthaus. Gut, wir sollen ja aber ins Rathaus. Deswegen würde ich sagen, lass uns mal in die andere Richtung gehen. Und zwar vielleicht hier mal kurz vor die Tür. Hier können wir nur nach Hause. Aber ansonsten hier drüben und nichts mehr, ne, wo unser Fahrrad gelandet ist oder sowas. Okay, gut, dann schnell wieder rein. Und mal in die Richtung hier weiter. Oh, das sieht schön aus. Das hier schon das Rathaus. Sieht so rathausig aus.
The stairs don't seem safe. I don't want to risk hurting myself.
Okay. Was haben wir hier noch? Haufen Bücher. Und ihr alle keine Regale, dass die ganzen Bücher immer auf dem Boden stehen?
I don't think that ransacking this paperwork will help me in any way.
Okay, das ist ja nur der Kram. Was haben wir hier? Ein Stempel. Ein Globus. Gucken wir erstmal den an.
I'm sorry, I'd prefer you not touch it. There's some important notes and I don't want to lose them.
Sure.
Auf dem Globus ist Australien. Steht hier nicht was? Sieht so blank aus.
Better ask for permission. I'd risk looking like a thief. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I'm sorry, do we know each other?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve? There was only one child that called me that. It can't be. Willie. Is that really you?
Yes, Steve, it's really me, Willie Morgan.
Son, how are you? Sorry if I don't get up, but my back is killing me. Sitting here all day is bad for my health.
All good, Steve. Thank you.
Tell me, what brought you back to Bonetown? It's been years since the last time I saw you.
For the anniversary of my dad's disappearance. It's been 10 years. I was thinking of swinging by the cemetery.
Already 10 years? Time seems to have stopped in Bonetown since then. I sought refuge in my job to forget. I don't see your mother. Does she know you're here?
I told her I was leaving. She's away on a business trip.
How is she? I tried many times to contact you in recent years, but she never answered.
It was very tough for her, too. She preferred to make a clean break from the past, concentrating on me and her job. Bonetown is a memory that still hurts a lot.
I understand.
Can I borrow a stamp?
Of course, as long as you use it responsibly. Even if they're dated back, they're the official stamps of Bonetown.
Thanks. I'll use them well.
Actually, when you're finished with your stuff, you can help me out with that stamp. I have a lot of paperwork to authenticate.
Gladly. How are things going here in Bonetown?
Not very well, I'd say. It's becoming harder and harder to run Bonetown. People leave, and the problems are constantly increasing.
Ja, als ich herkam, hatte ich Probleme, mein Fahrrad zu parken. Du meinst den Mangel an Höflichkeit im Gasthaus? Ich habe einige Bauarbeiten an den Gebäuden gesehen. Kann ich nur eins nehmen? Weil dann würde ich das hier nehmen.
I saw some construction work on the buildings.
That's one of the bigger problems in the city. It seems that our water resources are drying up. Some people say that upriver, certain companies have been doing excavations that caused the fracturing of some faults. But I launched an investigation. There's no correlation. So I'm trying to solve the problem by recovering rainwater. And at the moment, it seems to be working.
I hope so, for Bonetown. Do you remember what happened to my father?
It's always painful for me to talk about Henry. We grew up almost like brothers, before he decided to leave and become one of the most famous archaeologists in the world. But despite his work, he always found the time to come back here to the family, and to meet his old friends. Unfortunately, his disappearance is still shrouded in mystery. The night before that fateful day, we went out together. We said goodbye in front of the old inn, where he was staying. The next morning, I stopped by to say hello, but there was no trace of him. His room was intact. The innkeeper said he didn't see him going out. That's all I know. Since then, I've been racking my brain to understand what happened, but Henry seems to have vanished into thin air.
Just like Mom always tells me. Do you, by any chance, know what Dad was working on?
I wouldn't know. Whenever he'd come to Bonetown, he told us fantastic stories of the places he explored. We felt like we were there with him.
Dad was always an exceptional narrator. When he told me a story before bed, I couldn't sleep right away, but instead spent a good part of the night fantasizing.
He used to do the same thing with us here in Bonetown. Everyone was enthralled by him.
Okay. Warum steht hier Steve? Sagt er nochmal den Anfang?
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Willie, and welcome back to Bonetown. I can't show you around, but for anything else, feel free to ask.
Thanks.
Okay, jetzt ist es weg. Ich probiere nochmal das hier in der Hoffnung, dass wir das andere auch fragen können.
How are things going here in Bonetown?
The bigger problem seems to be our water at the moment. Our water resources are drying up. I'm investing my remaining finances and the last of the city's funds to get it back to its former state.
You really care a lot about Bonetown.
I was born and raised here. I don't want it to stay like this.
Okay, also nicht mehr die anderen Sachen.
See you later.
Come back whenever you want. You'll always find me here.
Thanks.
Okay, kann ich die jetzt mitnehmen, die Stempel?
I might need one. I'll take the more worn one.
Okay. Dann haben wir alles hier gesehen und gemacht, was wir können. Was war das
It's
jetzt?
an ordinary-
Nee, was war das jetzt hier? Ist das Rathaus. Okay. Das hat uns jetzt aber nicht so wirklich weitergeholfen, ne? Gucken wir mal weiter. Was gibt's denn hier noch? Drugstore. Oh, hier ist... Was ist das denn? Sieht ja super aus. Fabulous Bone Town. Gummibärenautomat.
It only works with 5-cent coins.
Oder mit einer Nagelfeile?
I don't think fixing my...
Ja, okay.
I better not. I don't want any trouble with the law. Should I smash the window and take the contents? I don't see a reason yet.
Na, lass uns erstmal reingehen, bevor wir hier irgendwas einschlagen. Ballert der sich hier Smarties rein? Ist ja voll geil.
Hey. That is fragile instrumentation. You can't take it without authorization.
Excuse me, I thought it was available for customers.
No, it's extremely important equipment for my job. Only I can use it. Or whoever has my permission.
All right.
Okay, also fragen wir ihn gleich mal. Gucken wir uns aber erstmal hier so ein bisschen um. Ein Periodensystem.
Better not. I think the owner would be very upset. I'd like to take some, but I spent the last of my money at the Dead Man Inn.
Okay. Süßigkeiten. Was hat er denn hier? Papier.
I need it. I wrote down the ingredients I require to complete the recipe I'm working on.
I understand. Good morning.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I was just browsing.
No problem. But please don't touch anything without my permission. I've arranged everything so that it will make my work easier.
What work?
I'm developing a recipe that will make me rich. I just have to find the final ingredients.
Can I have some candies?
Unfortunately, I have to say no. The ones you see in the shop are needed to complete the recipe I'm working on, as well as for my livelihood.
I noticed.
If you have some pocket change, there's a candy vending machine right outside the shop. You can take as much as you want. It's only 5 cents for a candy.
Thanks a lot. What are you working on exactly?
It's a recipe of my own concoction for a new, non-alcoholic drink. As soon as I find all the ingredients, I'll patent it. I've written everything I need on this piece of paper I found in the back room. There's still some ingredients missing to complete the recipe. Then I'm sure my life will take a turn, and I could say goodbye to Bone Town.
Can I help you somehow?
Let me think. Maybe there's something you could do. I need to go to the warehouse to get some things I couldn't find anywhere else in town. But I need a specific plant that grows here in these surroundings. It's a plant with white flowers that only grows in places exposed to the sun, but also with enough moisture.
No problem. I'll see if I can pick one up and bring it to you.
No. It's extremely delicate. Any contact with the acids in human skin could ruin its essence. You should use specific instruments to pick it up and carry it. If you're willing to give me a hand, I can provide you with all you need.
What would I get in return?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Tremendously epic. All right.
Very well. Help yourself to the container and the trowel near the door. Once you've identified the plant, use the trowel to put it in the container.
I figured as much.
Thanks. It will also take me a while to find what I need in the warehouse. We'll meet back here.
All right. What's that piece of paper?
I honestly don't know. I was going through the back room when the new recipe suddenly hit me. I grabbed the first piece of paper I came across to write down the ingredients.
Can I see it?
I'd rather you not. Our sector is very competitive. If I let you read the ingredients, you could steal my recipe. I can give it to you after the recipe is completed, when I'll be sure nobody will copy my work.
Okay.
Okay, das haben wir. Stück Papier. Können Sie wiederholen, was ich machen soll? Wir haben alles.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Okay, dann schnappen wir uns die Werkzeuge.
When you find the plant with the white flowers, make sure to be as gentle as you can.
I'll do my best.
Sehr gut. Haben
I
wir
better
alles
be
auch.
going now.
Oh, ich wollte gerade gucken, ob ich noch Süßigkeiten haben
The owner
darf.
was clearly in a great hurry to leave.
Ist er jetzt noch da, wenn ich reingehe?
It's closed. The owner has put up a notice. I'll be right back, thanks. He actually told me he was going to the warehouse. I better try later.
Okay, dann ist hier, das ist jetzt ein Zeitpunkt, die Ladenscheibe einzuschlagen und was rauszuklauen. Aber okay, gehen wir zur nächsten Tür. Was genau ist das für ein Laden? Gucken wir uns mal um. 3D-Drucker?
It doesn't work like that. It's the same printer we use at school. Here on the side is a multi-format reader. It can read USB sticks, CDs, etc. And it's also a scanner to read data directly from images. Once all the info has been inserted into the reader, it'll be converted into data, which will be passed on to the printer. Only then will it be ready to begin operating.
Okay. Wahrscheinlich müssen wir dann noch irgendwas drucken, aber haben wir ja jetzt noch nix.
I'm not thirsty. I'm not thirsty.
Okay. Futuristisches Netzteil.
Useless. I already have all the energy I need.
Okay. Das ist also hier nur Getränke. Und er hier. Nerd. Natürlich.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the fabulous Bonetown New Pub.
Was ist ein Pub? Okay.
Is this supposed to be a pub?
It is. It's a full-fledged pub. You have the opportunity to select different drinks of your choice, and it's all automated.
At first sight, it looks more like a garage with vending machines.
Details. This is the future. People don't want to waste time with chatter. They want to get straight to the point. And I offer what they want. A valid alternative to the old and worn-down Bonetown premises.
Maybe you should have invested a bit more in the interior design, like moving some tires or getting rid of the tools.
I appeal to a different clientele. A bit in the style of Dine and Dash, but more like Drink and Dash.
Well, if that is your philosophy, I'd say you've done a great job.
I know. Thank you.
How is business going in Bonetown?
I only opened this business recently, but I'm very confident. The market research I did before opening in Bonetown is very accurate. So it's just a matter of time, and then I'm sure I'll find great satisfaction.
What kind of market research?
I was passing by Bonetown when I had a car problem. I asked for help from the town mechanic. After the hike to check out my stalled car, he asked me if by any chance I had something to drink. And so the light bulb went on in my head. Ding! If people here need takeaway drinks, I'll be here to serve them.
So you just relied on the opinion of a single person who happened to be thirsty.
Exactly. I know how to read the needs of a village. It's from little things that big projects grow.
I have some serious doubts, but I wish you luck.
Thanks, but luck doesn't have anything to do with it. Intuition and precise calculations are the foundations of every solid venture.
That's right, I agree.
Wie machen Sie das mit dem Betrieb? Was meint er denn?
How do you handle your operation?
Ha! That's simple. The vending machines and the signs do their work. I just have to wait for the customers and invest the proceeds in my other passion, video games.
Oh, so you're a developer?
Ha! Please. I want to make a living. I play everything I can and help developers with my precise and sharp feedback.
Of course.
Das muss so ein Witz unter Developern sein, dass man von ihrem Job nicht leben kann. Ich selber kenne jetzt gar keinen persönlich, um das nachzufragen, ob das stimmt. Aber wahrscheinlich stimmt's, wenn so ein Witz ist. Obwohl ja fast jeder über seinen Job sagt, dass man zu wenig verdient, oder?
Who's the town mechanic?
He's a very skilled local handyman. They still call him the blacksmith here. He can fix practically anything. At first I had some problems with the vending machines, and he took care of making them go again. Now he's tinkering with my car. Now that I've moved here, I don't need it anymore. Since I have no urgency to get it fixed, I told the blacksmith he could work on it during the slow times. Since then, I haven't seen him around anymore.
I understand. I noticed the new gutters in Bonetown.
I didn't. I'm not from around here. I recently opened my business, and I'm dedicating body and soul to it. I've never ventured out to take a tour of the town.
That's a shame. You don't know what you're missing. I also saw a 3D printer.
Yes, it's the latest fashion. I decided to expand my market. By offering different products in the same store, I have more chance to succeed.
Drinks and 3D printers?
I see you also grasp the symbiosis of the two things.
I wasn't exactly paying you a compliment.
This is another of my brilliant ideas. You can use it if you want. The first time, it's free, just to encourage the customer to come back.
And many people use it here in Bonetown?
Some pass by here to see it, supposing it's an aquarium. But as soon as they recognize its potential, a universe of opportunity will open up to them.
I like your enthusiasm. I'll make good use of it too, then.
It's at your disposal when you want it.
Habt ihr einen 3D-Drucker schon mal benutzt oder habt ihr vielleicht sogar einen zu Hause? Ich finde die nämlich auch mega interessant, die Dinger. Aber viel zu teuer, um sich so ein Teil zu besorgen und das mal auszuprobieren. Ich wüsste auf Schlag auch gar nicht, wofür. Obwohl, wenn man einmal so ein Ding hat und die Möglichkeiten vielleicht irgendwie kennt, dann hat man bestimmt Potenzial, was man ausschöpfen kann. Ich habe auf eBay zum Beispiel mal gesehen, da habe ich, was habe ich denn gesucht? Ich glaube Würfelbecher und oder Würfelzubehör. Und dann hat einer mit einem 3D-Drucker so Cthulhu-Köpfe als Würfelbecher gemacht gehabt. Und die hat er dann, also du konntest dir dann customizen, wie er aussehen soll von den Farben her und sowas alles. Und dann hat er das 3D-Drucker-mäßig gedruckt und einen Scheißhaufen Kohle dafür verlangt. Aber ich weiß halt nicht, ob das gerechtfertigt war wegen dem Materialaufwand und dem ganzen Kram, der dazugehört. Ich weiß es ja nicht genau. Vielleicht ist es gerechtfertigt. Falls ihr Erfahrung damit habt, sagt das mal gerne. Pub, Betrieb, Stadt, 3D-Drucker, wir haben alles.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Okay. Wir sind aber, er sagt see you soon, das würde ich sagen, sagen wir auch zueinander, denn wir sind schon wieder gleich bei 23 Minuten angekommen. Das heißt, wir machen eine Aufnahmepause. Und in der nächsten Folge gehen wir nach draußen. Wir wissen jetzt hier, der junge Mann hat Getränke und 3D-Drucker, falls wir irgendwas drucken wollen. Und wir müssen weiterschauen, was wir draußen noch alles bekommen. Wir brauchen ja auch so einen komischen Schlüssel. Vielleicht kann er den drucken, wenn wir den irgendwie abfotografieren oder so von der Kiste oder so. Keine Ahnung. Kriegen wir alles auf jeden Fall noch raus. Wir müssen ja auch die Pflanze besorgen und dann wieder zurück zum Drogerieladen. Was braucht man denn noch für Sachen? Wir müssen die ganzen Leute fragen, damit wir die Kartenteile bekommen. So viele Dinge, die wir noch zu tun haben. Das aber und vieles mehr in den nächsten Folgen. Also, bis dann.